If fat loss hasn't restarted for you, even though you lowered insulin, cleaned up your diet, reduced stress, and did everything right, this is for you. Because there's a group of very disciplined people who follow the system correctly and still feel tired, foggy, or stuck. Not because the strategy is wrong, not because they lack willpower, but because the body is operating under quiet biological stress. And when the body feels unstable, it doesn't release fat, it protects it. Up to this point, everything we've talked about has been about access, lowering insulin, stabilizing blood sugar, reducing stress, and creating the conditions where fat can finally be released. And for a lot of people, once those pieces line up, fat loss restarts without force. But for others, stress quietly changes how every signal is interpreted. And that's what stops progress, even when the system is right.
When people cut carbs and fast longer, they often assume that feeling tired, foggy, or flat is part of the process. That it's a sign they just need more discipline. In reality, it's usually a mineral problem. Insulin doesn't only regulate fat storage. It also controls how the body holds onto sodium, potassium, and magnesium. When insulin drops, those minerals drop with it. And when mineral levels fall, energy production suffers, sleep quality declines, cortisol rises, and fat loss quietly slows down.
At that point, the body doesn't feel efficient. It feels unstable. And an unstable system does not willingly burn stored energy. This is why so many people say they're doing everything right, but still feel terrible. It's not weakness. It's a missing safeguard.
Fat loss doesn't happen in a dehydrated, depleted environment. When fluids and electrolytes are low, insulin sensitivity worsens, stress hormones rise, and hunger signals become distorted. The body shifts into conservation mode, not because calories are high, but because stability is low. This is why supporting hydration and minerals isn't optional when insulin is being lowered aggressively. It's not supplementation for comfort. It's signal protection.
Here's something most people aren't told up front. When insulin drops and fat burning increases, uric acid levels can rise and urine can become more concentrated. Without proper hydration and buffering, this creates kidney stress.
That doesn't mean keto or fasting is dangerous. It means the body needs support during the transition. When people ignore this, they don't just stall fat loss. They feel unwell, uncomfortable, and alarmed. And instead of fixing the missing safeguard, they abandon the entire approach, assuming it was the diet that failed.
In reality, it was the preparation that was incomplete.
There's a persistent myth that fat loss is earned in the gym or through longer fasts. But most fat burning doesn't happen during effort. It happens during deep sleep.
That's when growth hormone rises, cortisol drops, and the body finally feels safe enough to release stored energy. When sleep quality is poor, blood sugar rises, insulin rises, and fat access shuts down, regardless of how clean the diet looks.
This is why people who eat perfectly but sleep poorly often feel stuck for months. The body simply refuses to let go while it's exhausted. Sleep isn't just recovery, it's metabolic permission.
Cortisol has a unique ability to raise blood sugar without food. That blood sugar triggers insulin, and insulin blocks fat release. This can happen even during fasting. This is why overtraining backfires, why constant mental stress overrides nutrition, and why people describe feeling wired but tired while progress stalls completely.
At this stage, eating less doesn't help. Fasting longer doesn't help. Because the block isn't dietary anymore. It's neurological. The body doesn't burn fat in a state of threat.
High-intensity exercise has its place, but when stress is already elevated, adding more intensity can make the problem worse. In those cases, low-intensity movement, like long walks, can be surprisingly powerful.
Walking lowers cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, and sends a signal of safety to the nervous system. That sense of safety is often what reopens access to stored fat when everything else feels stuck.
Fat loss resumes when a body feels stable again, not punished.
None of these safeguards replace the core fat loss system. They protect it. They don't force fat loss. They remove the brakes that were never supposed to be there in the first place. And for many disciplined people, this is the difference between endlessly trying harder and finally seeing progress return.
Once these safeguards are in place, fat loss usually restarts, but there's a smaller group of people, very disciplined, very consistent, and they still don't see movement, even when everything is aligned. They're already fasting. They're already eating clean. They're already doing everything right. And this is where most explanations completely fail. In the next part, we'll talk about what happens when even one meal a day stops working, why pushing harder actually makes things worse, and how extreme plateaus actually break.